Bannack Ghost Town, Bannack State Park, Montana. Cost $8 to get in. Wow, this is cool. Look at these old windows. Imagine what it was like to live in a town like this. Wow, this is a pretty good size house. Wow, they use burlap and cloth for insulation. This house was just built basically on the dirt. It's really cool that they let you walk through all these houses. This place here was built as the courthouse in 1876. Cost $14,000, and I guess when Bannack went bust and they wanted to move the courthouse to Dillon, Montana, this place sold to somebody who turned it into a hotel in 1881. And the person that bought it only paid $1,250 for it, if you can imagine. Hotel Mead. Wow, it's impressive structure for the period. Wow, this looks like something in a Western movie. Oh my God, this had steel doors. Huh. Being that this was a courthouse, actually this whole structure's steel. I don't know if they used to hold prisoners in there or if it was a safe. Wow, look at this oven. The hotel had a huge oven. I mean, as big and as heavy as that is, you wonder how they even got it here. Some of this stuff is obviously more modern, but look at this kitchen sink. Wow, this was a hotel room. These were all hotel rooms. This was a bigger one. Notice these hotel rooms don't have a bathroom. Man, look at these beautiful hinges on these doors. This was called Skinner's Saloon, 1863. Wow, imagine the stories that could be told about this place. So hard to imagine that there were 3,000 people living here. Another thing that I find funny, there wasn't much planning control back then because you have the saloon right next to the courthouse. And that's something. And then there's the outhouse behind the saloon. This classic old, cool looking house. Here's a bunch of the old mining equipment. This is definitely worth coming to visit if you're in the Dillon, Montana area. They let you walk all over the property. Obviously you can, oh, this one's locked. Man, this place experienced a fire at some point. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is log homes actually can resist fire pretty well due to the density of the logs. There's a mine right up here. I guess there's a lot of mines back in these hills. Is this place open? Yeah, this one's open too. Man. So hard to imagine people lived like this. Look at this old nail. Hopefully nobody will steal that. Wow. Kind of wonder what was going on back here. There's a lot of structures. This was obviously some kind of a barn. Wow. Actually, this was a garage. People that built this house in 1866, the Rowe family, these people were wealthy. This is the kind of home a wealthy person had in Bannack. Wow, there's a lot of rooms in this house. Lots of woodwork. Wow, this house looks like it might have been a couple thousand square feet. So this is what a home would look like of somebody who was wealthy in Bannack in the 1860s. It even had downspouts. This was built in 1877. It's a Methodist church. Sits way up on a good foundation. Wow, look at these old church. Made in Chicago. Wow, there's actually a piano. Looks like some people got padded chairs and some people didn't. This one here, it says this old cabin is a fine example of the craftsmanship of the early day builders. This beautiful little cabin was built with simple hand tools in 1864 by French-Canadian Xavier Renault. Note the excellent fit in hand-hewn logs, the double dovetail log notching, and the wooden peg construction. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's a wasp. I don't know if I want to go in there or not. Yeah, I'm not going to go in here as a wasp. Wow, yeah, look at this craftsmanship here. Man, he used some big logs on this stuff. This little place here is just sinking into the ground. So yeah, imagine if you were riding into town on a horse. This is what it would have looked like. This was a neat idea. They had a log home that had chinking, and then they put shingles on top of that to seal everything up. That's pretty smart, especially given this is Montana. So up in these hills is where a lot of the mining went on. You can still see some trails. This was the Bannack jail. It's got dirt and grass on the roof. Wow, this is just something else. Look at this door. It's not even 6 feet tall. Everything was built heavier duty. Look at all the nails in the floor. These were jail cells. Look at all the nails. Wow, this is just something. Here's another jail cell next door. Wow, this one had shackles on the floor. Looks like they're embedded in concrete or in the wood here. Well, this is what jail was like back then. Imagine being stuck in here in the summer. And that's your window. It's about 10 inches by 10 inches. I think this was the outhouse for the jail. So the people that owned this house, the Gibsons in 1862, they owned this home. And then they built a hotel or a boarding house called the Montana Hotel. In 1890, they continued to use it as a rooming house. The smaller building on the left, which I just showed you, is the Gibson home. At some earlier point, it served as the blacksmith shop, which is indicated by the brands still visible on the interior walls. Let's go look. Oh yeah, you can see some of the old brands on these walls. Wow. I'm sure there's people that study these and know what all these mean. So this used to be a blacksmith shop, and then the people bought it and turned it into a house. And then built the hotel next door. Let's go check out the hotel. The Montana Hotel. Huh. Kind of cool. It's the only one I've seen that has side lights on the door. Wow, look at this staircase. And all the different floors over the years. Wow, weird smell in here. I'm fascinated with these old stoves, and to try to imagine that something heavy like this made out of cast iron was carried in a wagon from wherever it was made. It's a shame that people do this. I mean, something that's survived for 150 years, and people come in here and carve their names in the walls. It's just sickening. Just my opinion. Wow, I don't even know if Oh, these stairs are so steep. Man, look how low this railing is. Wow, this would have been a good sized room. This is about, I don't know, 20 by 20. I guess a rooming house would have been similar to an apartment. Yeah, they have a closet. Heat that came through here. Wow, this one's really small. So this had three rooms up here. It's hard to get the perspective, but this staircase is really steep. This is the Bannack Cemetery. So imagine when you came down this road out here in a horse heading into the town of Bannack that I just videoed, you pass the first thing you see is the cemetery. I guess there was quite a few shootouts in Bannack. A lot of people got shot and killed. Wow, these old cemeteries are fascinating. Wow. This person's been here for 127 years, something like that. Sorry, I'm trying to do the math in my head. These cemetery or these plots here are so old they don't even have plaques. Or they did, and they were made out of wood. Man. This guy was only 37 years old. "28 years old. $1895. It's interesting how these are all facing different directions. Isn't it awesome how granite stands the test of time? Look at how beautiful that polish on that granite is. Wow, this lady was only 20 years old also. Oh, this was a baby. I was having a hard time reading. This kid was only 16 months, 8 days old. So these two people died both in the same year, or even maybe the same day. It's hard to tell. This whole family's here. I'm not going to walk around, but this cemetery is pretty big. Go check out one more. "38 years old. I think he was part of the Masons. Huh. I'm not a normal cemetery hunter type person. Some people do get into checking out old cemeteries, but I'm guessing when there's a thing like this around it, they're like a family plot. This one is unmarked. Actually, all these are unmarked. So you don't know who's actually here. There was obviously a grave here that sunk. Wow, there's lots of them. Man, it's so weird to think about that. Let's go over and check out a few of these. This is interesting. This person was born June 22nd. That's my birthday, 1840. The beautiful workmanship on the carving of this marble. Son of Robert. This person was also only 30 years old. God, these are kind of shocking. You know, none of these graves, these people didn't live very long. These people here built their own stone, it looks like. So this lady was 41. I don't know what that means. This little girl here was only 11 years old. This kid was only 1 year old. Not even one, actually. "30 years.